Yes, we're there hiding. We are, as Unatrix says, a bunch of wild folk appeared. Happy Tuesday! Happy Stadia Tuesday to you all. Thank you for coming along. It's the Rokk's blog bash. I can't help it. I want to say bog brush. What can I say? It's the Stadia Bash Community Network show, unique to the Stadia Bash community, of course. And yes, we're bang on time. And luckily for us, Stadia also are bang on time with the This Week on Stadia. So quick run round with my wonderful panel, and then we'll pull it up and see the delights waiting therein. Let's start with Jon. How are you, Jon?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm actually pretty solid today. I've had a shower and I've had a little walk around the garden.
Go for that.
Yeah, and watered the flowers. As us older folk do, we try to keep in trim, don't we? Lukey, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Busy day at work, but the sun's out here in, well, where I live it is anyway. I don't know about everyone else, but...
Yeah, it's been out. It's not as good as it was. Very sexy little short you had on Twitter earlier. I was only to get on my Harley and go out and run around the fields.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. That's what I'm thinking of doing,
yeah. And look who it is. It's only Stadia Dad, the one and only, the lovely Lee. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, pal. How are you?
I am tickety boo,
which
is a phrase that you don't hear very often in most of the world, and there's a good reason for that. I think it should be banned.
Yeah.
Lord Kensal, Mr. Illenden, as I live and breathe. How are you, sir? Royalty in the house.
Well, thank you for that. I'm good. I'm good. You talk about tickety boo. It's something you don't hear in the 21st century.
You don't. You don't. And it did take me back to my childhood around the time of Dickens. Yes.
Go back.
Are you into Dickens? Yes, but not on the first date. And look who's just popped in. Why, it's all-purpose champ Anthony. Hey.
What's going on, guys?
Is a cowboy.
I wasn't going to be able to get on because I tried this before with Stadia Dad, and it didn't work. And so,
well, it's worked here, mate. We can see you're in the. Looks like you're in the back of a police car, but that's all right. That's fine because life moves on. How are you
guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's just I got to figure out how to microphone on.
Well, while you're figuring that, we're going to fire up the blog post because it is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
And it is an exciting one. Let me just do this so you get to see more. So here we are this week on Stadia. Free Hitman for everybody. New free games with Stadia Pro and more. And if we just scroll down a bit, something that caught Clive's eye straight away. Look at that! SpongeBob's a pro game!
Yay! It's SpongeBob's definitely a game I don't know, shall I buy it? I mean, I really want to play it, but there's so much other stuff I want to play and do and buy and say. But yeah, in fact, it's a pro game. Very happy.
Excellent.
Yeah, very happy about that.
Absolutely amazing. I just seem to have disappeared here, but don't worry because you can hear me. That's the important thing.
We'll keep going.
I'm actually in that Resident Evil 7 box there with the evil eye.
Yes.
Of course, we knew Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition was coming as a pro game because that was announced recently. But it's great to see it there. So let's have a proper read down here. What have we got? Well, look. I can see straight away something very interesting here. How do you pronounce that, Jon? East?
They say East.
Yeah,
East?
Yeah. They say East.
I think that's the proper pronunciation of it, but I always just pronounce it as wise.
Yeah.
They
pronounce it. They've spelt it out for you in the blog.
Oh, look! It actually says it. Clive's reading ahead. That's his lawyer's background. That does things. You see. So Ease 8, Lacrimosa of Dana or Dana or
Great
Dana,
title,
whichever you prefer. One of the most hardcore JRPG titles, and this is, of course, they announced last week that there were a whole bunch of these JRPGs. Everybody got very excited. So great to see one of them straight in as a pro game.
I did see somebody saying it would be good if one of them was a pro game to get people. I'm sure somebody tweeted it, and I thought, that would be cool to sort of seed the market.
That's it.
Oh, there I am. Look at me. Look, bless.
Oh, you're back.
And there is a little fella. He's a little fella. There you go. We'll put Anthony over on the right hand side. No matter which way I go here, guys, we're going to have to lose someone. It's going to have to be me. There we go. We need to see the screen. Pikaniku. Now, is this the first? This has already been out on Stadia, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can pick it up. It's only like a couple of months old on the platform.
So that one is also a pro game. So we've got 4 games, one of which Resident Evil 7 is massive. I mean, that's a massive game. It's a great game.
Yep.
SpongeBob, I am equally excited about, because I can now go and say to my wife, do you fancy playing with my bikini bottom? And I know that she's going to be deeply excited about that. So that's a win all round for that one.
Yeah,
That's right.
The only is actually this full title is Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
Yeah.
So if you said that, I'm a bit kind of,
Yeah, she may not want to play with me if I say that. That's true. That is true.
Rehydrated, baby.
No, it says so tomorrow, March 31st is your last chance to play. So to claim these pro games: Steam World Quest, World Steam World Dig 2, Super Hot Mind Control Delete, F1 2020, and Hotline Miami. Once you've added these to the library, of course, they're yours forever. F1's not been a pro game for that long, has it?
No.
Well, I'd say it's been a pro game longer than Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprising that one.
Got all those. I claim them anyway, like a little magpie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now this is interesting. So Hitman free starter pack, free for everybody. Want to live out the thrill of Hitman's sleek, stylish stealth assassination gameplay for free? Pick up the Hitman free starter pack, available now to all players from Romco. Sorry, Clive, I had to sneak that one in. Little 70s reference there, ladies and gentlemen. This curated experience consists of the Hitman tutorial mission and the Hitman 2 Night Court mission, including all challenges to play to your heart's content. So these are what? These are 2 excerpts from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2.
It's like a demo.
Like a big old, like a Phoenix thing, isn't it?
And it's free to and this is the great thing. We talked about demos. They're not calling it a demo, but it's effectively a demo of 1, a demo of 2, and you get to play the Dubai sequence in number 3.
Hitman 3.
Available for everybody. So that's pretty cool, really, is to sort of to show off, a AAA game that's only 3 months old. Everybody can give it a go, give it a try, which is what we ever want with Stadia, is people give it a go.
That's awesome. So essentially you get to keep the Hitman 1 bit and the Hitman 2 bit, and then you can play the Hitman 3 Dubai location between March the 30th and April the 5th. So presumably after that, a bit like the Phoenix demo, after that it'd be gone. A little taster from your man. So that's all cool. I do love the fact that they keep doing this stuff that you can try it even if you don't want to sign up for an account. You can play Destiny, you can play, I think Pac-Man's in there now, isn't it, or Bomberman, one of the 2, and now of course this stuff as well. That's got to be good, isn't it, Anthony?
I totally agree. I'm all for anything new, more content,
Yeah, exactly right. Lee, you're excited about seeing a taster of Hitman?
Yeah, I'm not really very good at Hitman games, but like Anthony says, I'll echo what he said. Anything that comes to Stadia and just grows that library and bulks it out, it's fantastic, and it's the quality games as well. So yeah, it's great.
They are amazing games, aren't they?
They look fabulous on Stadia.
They really do.
Really good.
Stadia does a great job of playing. They're 60 frames per second as well, aren't they? I think. So awesome looking fellas. Then we've got more games coming to Stadia this week. Pick up all of these new games. So and there's a fair old chunk of them here. Look at this. Killer Queen Black. That's I think that's gone live today already, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I've already bought it.
Because Lee, you're best buddies with the developers behind this, aren't you?
Yeah, I got in touch with them for the 24-hour stream to see if they'd like to donate any swag, so to speak, or codes. And that was about 2 or 3 months ago. And ever since, they've been pretty much, I'd say, in weekly contact with me. They just drop into my DM and say, how you doing? How's things? They've been brilliant.
Very cool.
Yeah, really
It's
nice
superb.
bunch.
Really nice guys.
Yeah, they genuinely have, haven't they? I know from
Yeah.
what you've said that when the other day you had a bit of a patch, and
Yeah.
they were in the DMs there asking if you were okay, and
Yeah. Had a rough week last week, and they were there as well, just saying, "How are you? How's things? Hope you're okay." They're amazing people.
absolutely awesome. And that's the kind of thing you want in the community, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
They feel comfortable interacting on that level as well, which is cool. So that's really good. Chromecast Ultra. Well, they're giving those away. So whenever you've got time to squeeze in a few rounds with friends, buy it today in the Stadia store for the price of $9.99 for a Chromecast Ultra, $13.99 for everyone else. Struth O'Reilly.
Wow.
That's wow.
Yeah. If that's not an indication that support's coming to the Google TV Chromecast, then I don't know what else.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it's eminent for sure.
Yeah.
Now, could that be because they're making some way?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
I agree. That to me has Google TV written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
You sure you read that right?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I think
read it again.
The game is $9.99 for Pro members and $13.99.
Yeah, you're right.
I've just picked it up for $8.99. So.
You're quite right. But if you do want to buy
everybody.
Chromecast Ultra for $9, give me a shout because I've got a couple.
Yeah. Got a few boxes here and another one
you
on the
are
way.
right. You are right. I beg your pudding there, folks. Don't go running off to the
Yeah,
press. It's
yeah.
not true.
I heard. He said.
Yeah. You see, what you got here, folks, is Clive. Clive is Chuck to my Jimmy McGill. If you're into Better Call Saul, he is the brighter, more astute brother. I'm the idiot. But there you go. You can't have it always, can you? Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince. Let's try and get back on track. That one. Now, Trine I've played on other platforms. Great looking game. 4-player co-op. And it's $30 today, so you can go and pick up that one. That's brilliant. Disco Elysium, The Final Cut. That's a really nice looking game, I have to say.
BAFTA award winner.
BAFTA award-winning Disco Elysium, and that is also available from today for $40. Nanotail Typing Chronicles, and that's a really interesting game. Lukey, have you seen some of the trailers and stuff for this one?
I have seen some of the trailers. Yeah, it was quite intriguing, really. I haven't really looked too much into it because at first I just, it does look interesting. I'll have to look into it. I think, to be fair, it's one of the ones.
Epic Story.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
So you, from what I can recall, you basically progress by typing out words and stuff. Rather than shooting critters, which is quite nice. Although I do hope, I think we've lost Anthony. I do hope not true to form some of the more recent games that I thought would be great for the kids, only to tap up a character and be told to F off or something similar. Well, hello. Let's hope we don't have any of those spelled out in the middle of the world. Typing Chronicles, that could be a bit awkward. Of course, the big release of the week, April 1st, Outriders. That is, I believe, coming at 5 p.m. UK time on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right.
Midnight for PCs, not PCs, sorry, for consoles. I don't know if you guys have played the demo. I've played it everywhere.
Yeah.
All of it to death. It's going to be big, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it is. I was surprised at how much I really enjoyed it, because I'm not really that big of a Destiny fan. And I kind of initially thought, oh, well, this is just going to be like Destiny. But I mean, based off the demo, everything is like more cohesive. The story flows and you know what to do next. Whereas Destiny, it's kind of just like open-ended and, sometimes you can get lost and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to playing it, and also with Stream Connect. And I want to try that out as well. That's going to be awesome.
Does it have a strong, like a narrative, like more like sort of Gears 5 type? Where it's very much this sort of story-based structure to it.
Yeah, there's a story-based structure to it there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, each of the, in the demo, Clive, there's, 3 or 4 of the key sort of early story missions, and there's a couple of side missions, but they all sort of connect. It's a very linear game, though. So I'm interested to see how it progresses beyond the sort of initial few minutes or a couple of hours of the demo, because it may be one of those that I don't know how long. Dan, have you, John? Sorry, have you heard how long the game is?
I thought, if I remember correctly, it said something like 30 plus hours to quote unquote beat it per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty good size chunk of gameplay there.
It's co-op as well, and you can go back and one of the things I liked about the demo was you could actually go back and replay any of those little missions and pick up more loot for your trouble. So if you found one that was particularly easy for you, because each one of them unlocked some piece of loot that was quite nice in terms of loot and shoot, guns or armor. There was a couple of stores that you could buy stuff and upgrade, and there's a whole lot more that they promised for when the actual game rolls out. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. That's definitely on the old playlist for the week. I might have to get some game time in for that one. So you've not played the demo, Clive, by the sounds?
No, I haven't.
I think you'll like it. It's somewhere around sort of Division 2 meets Anthem, bit of Destiny thrown in. But like you were saying, John, I mean, historically, I was a massive Destiny fan. I was all over Destiny 1 and the early days of Destiny 2. Recently, I've tried going back, and there's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
If you leave the game for a month, it's so hard to get back into it now. Which is real shame for me. But I had to go in with some friends in the end to just have them explain how the helm worked and all this. So what's all this stuff? And even then, I gave up.
Yeah, if you've got somebody that knows the ins and outs of it, and you could play alongside them, that Destiny is fantastic. But just for me, myself, I kind of felt like if I'm on my own and trying to do it, just kind of felt like, okay, what do I do next? Am I supposed to go here? Do I go there? What do I do? And I found myself always asking somebody else. And then, like I said, if you find someone that's very knowledgeable and they know the ins and outs, go along for the ride. It's great.
I remember doing a mission in Destiny 2 with my son and his mates, and they were going, "No, I've done it before. You do it this way." And you can only do it with 6 of you. You can only be done with 6 of you. You've got to stand on that plate. He goes up there. He goes through that tube over there. You fire at the funny shape when it lights up. I'm going, what am I doing? What am I meant to be? And you've got these sort of 11, 12-year-olds going, "Oh, come on, man. Look, it's simple. You go over there. He stands over there." I'm going, how did anybody know this? At the beginning, how did anybody discover this at the beginning? Because there's no instructions, and yet somehow you lot all know. It's like crazy.
Yeah, and it is what it is. It has to appeal to all sorts of degrees of player. But I would love Outriders to be in. I would love, because I think one of the downsides, for example, of Marvel Avengers was, and this to me feels a little bit like that. It looks great. And it's got a bit of a story, and there's stuff that you can do. But once you've done it, you kind of have done it. And you had to wait for the DLCs to come to make it interesting again. And I'm hoping that isn't necessarily the case with Outriders, that actually there's enough in there to make you want to go back and have a little play and see how it goes. But we shall see. I definitely bought it anyway. So I'm
going to buy it, and then I've got 2 hours to demo it. And
yes,
it looks like it's my cup of tea. So but at least
I think
that's
the
beauty of Stadia. You've got 2 hours to demo it.
Absolutely right. No, I think you'll enjoy it, Clive. And then we've got Cosmic Star Heroine, a stellar classical style RPG inspired by the 16-bit era, built from the ground up with modern mechanics, quality of life in mind. I know nothing about this. Have you guys seen anything about this?
I mentioned this yesterday. So it was certified on the German ratings board, USK.de, a couple of days ago, a few days ago. But interestingly enough, it was certified for Stadia on the ESRB, which is the UK one, about 6 months ago.
Wow.
So
that's interesting.
Because I saw somebody tweeted it had been, oh, look, this has just been, certified on the German board, Wow. So I looked it up, and then I sort of was going into it, and I thought, actually, I'm sure I've heard of this. And I looked back, and sure enough, 6 months ago, it'd been rated.
Cosmic Star Heroine, but it's
Yeah.
so it's kind of another one of these kind of old school looking RPG that seem to have they seem to dominate Stadia. There's a whole
very Switch, like
I was going to say very Switch.
These games and the next one coming on, Kimono Heroes. These games, if they land on Switch, you get the Switch aficionados going, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Because it's sort of got that retro feel of all the dads that have a Switch. That sort of thing, I bought it for the kids. I bought it for the kids. Yeah, just play Mario Kart, but they're all playing these retro pixel art games.
See, I wonder because Anthony, I know you play a lot of Stadia on mobile, don't you? You know.
So I do. I mainly play it on my laptop, but I'm Stadia is made for me, man. Stadia is made for me. I'm the guy that I go a lot of places. Like speaking of that, last night my wife, she's getting into Stadia, right? So I told her about Creative because Emma Jane made her game. So she said, "Oh, I want to check it out." So she's sitting on her phone, and I'm showing her like it's so simple on your phone. So we're watching a movie, and she's just on her phone creating a stage on Creative. But yeah, I'm a big fan of using it on mobile. I'm just waiting for them to come out with the backbone controller for the Android, and then I'm just gonna use it even more.
That thing is so impressive. $99 is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? The backbone. The thing is, I do wonder whether mobile is very prominent in the front of the commissioners' minds, because a lot of these games, as you rightly mentioned there, Clive, very Switch-like, and they absolutely, they're made for mobile, or at least for smaller screens. And I just wonder, whether this is kind of a glimpse of where Google themselves see the main audience in the future. Of course, India, as we know, Clive, is predominantly mobile, and it's definitely going to be coming out there at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's such a nostalgia for these sort of games necessarily in India. They want to play the PUBGs and the Call of Duties, hence the mobile versions of those are very significant. But I mentioned it last night on the show, in that Stadia's in this kind of weird Venn diagram where it sort of sits. I was sort of using it. It sort of sits between the sort of consoles and the PCs, and the types of games it has very console-y type games that you might expect, but it also has those sort of PC games that you don't get on consoles. So like Humankind that's coming is an example of a very PC type oriented game. But there's another circle, I would say, that you could add, which is like the Switch. And it has those really respected, quirky games that you don't necessarily get on, certainly on the Xbox, you do a certain degree, and you probably more so on the PlayStation, but definitely on the Switch. You get these highly respected, award-winning, quirky games that have a very distinct art style. And Stadia seems to sort of just sit across all these things. So you can tell the library is definitely being curated by people who are fans of games. Obviously, they have a wish list. They're not going to get everything they want, but they do seem to be curating a wide library of tastes. And I think that's a very positive thing.
Totally agree. So Kimono Heroes, you were saying, is in a similar vein.
It's another pixel art based game. It's on the Switch last year, released on the Switch last year. Again, so like if this was on the Switch, people go, "Oh my God."
And $15, so it's all around the £12 mark. Pocket money price games, as I like to call them. Worth having a little play and having in your library for no other reason than having them in your library.
I think there's local co-op on it as well. I think.
Is there? On which one? Kimono?
It
does actually say 4-player.
Yeah. So on the Switch version, it says multiplayer support up to 4 players.
Side-scrolling ninja animal.
It's interesting because it's from NIS America, who of course are the people that are bringing us the Trials of Cold Steel, the Lacrimosa of Ghana, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting they kept some of those things. They did. There's more games in the deal that they did with NIS America than they previously revealed.
Interestingly, the very next one, Clive, is as you suggest, from the same people. So Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 3 from the same developer. another JRPG, fantasy role-playing's most venerable and beloved franchises. Is this another Switch game then, originally?
What, the Legend? Well, it's part of that JRPG kind of. So it's just that full-on Japanese style game,
and it's a full price game.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's relatively new.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we've got Cold Steel 4 coming up.
4 is coming
in a few weeks.
Okay.
So this is. I don't know how old this one is.
Interesting, John. What are your thoughts on that? And you know more about this kind of stuff than me. $59.99.
I haven't priced it with look at the other stores there, but I think these are the type of games, kind of like Nintendo games that never go down in price. They're always stay at that full $59.99. And what's good about in these the Trail series here is like you don't need to have played the first 2 to pick up 3, because 3 has gives you like a summary of what happened in the first 2 games. So you're able to pick this up and go right into it and get on with it. So that's good. I like that. That.
There's clearly a gap between the games because it was actually September 2017. So we've got number 4, which is a new one, I think, coming. Then they obviously a bit of a gap between development.
But it is. I mean, it says
18. So it's okay. So
it's
a year apart.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, it says it's a it's a very beloved franchise. I'm guessing again, if this is your kind of thing, then this is exactly what you're looking for. It's manna from heaven, and the price fits. So as you were saying earlier, Clive, it's really horses for courses as far as the variety in the gaming ecosystem, if you like.
Yeah, if you're a JRPG fan, these are the top of the, in the sort of the top kilter of those sort of games.
Is there anything to take from the fact that we seem to have just suddenly had a raft of JRPG titles, or is that just purely coincidence? What do you think, Lukey?
I don't know, really. I think it's good they're bringing them to the platform, because when I think JRPG, I just always think Switch. Switch is very heavy with that sort of stuff. That's Clive was saying, they're very respected in that. And I think with Stadia having that, play mobile, advantage, like the Switches, a lot of people have Switches, they play mobile. Do you know what I mean? So, my son, we've got a big television in there, and he sits on the sofa with it like that. And I'm like, and it's just that having that sort of portability, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
is that, John? Do you think that's a strategy of Stadia, that in fact they've never particularly seen Xbox, PC, or Sony users as their audience, but actually the closest thing to them is probably someone migrating from a Switch device to Stadia?
Well, there's always that, like I've talked about earlier, that unwritten rule that if you have Xbox, it's okay to like Switch. If you have a PlayStation, it's okay to like Switch. But if you have Xbox or PlayStation, it's not okay to like each other. So Switch is that like middle child that everybody likes. So I think this is just great that Google is diversifying their catalog, exactly what people have been asking for. These games aren't going to be for everybody, but there certainly is an audience for them. So, and bringing up, the ability to be able to play mobile is fantastic. So, you can play at home, you can play on your computer, you can play mobile. This is great. And they're bringing out these types of games that work great on mobile as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win all around. And I really think, that we're now starting to see the fruits of, SG&E closing and that refocus on the games. Some might argue that they've already had these deals before. We don't know, but regardless, it looks like we're getting, a steady stream of games now every week or every couple of weeks. And I think it's great. Yeah. And I don't know necessarily, just because they're JRPGs, I know some people have said, well, does that mean that, they're going to expand Stadia to Japan or, Asian markets and stuff? I hope they do, but I don't know necessarily that this would be any indication.
Right.
I guess we'll see.
Great. Elder Scrolls Online free for 2 weeks, and that's interesting. Tamriel awaits. Suit up for high adventure in the Elder Scrolls Online. So from 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, which is, I think, actually 5 o'clock BST now, and 12 p.m. Eastern time. Look at me. From March 31st, from tomorrow until April 13th. So as it says, 2 weeks. Play the Elder Scrolls Online free with Stadia Pro. You'll have unfettered access to Tamriel Unlimited and the Morrowind chapter, which of course is the additional DLC if you had picked up this earlier on Stadia, isn't it? So all of that stuff is available, which is interesting because, of course, Elder Scrolls is essentially now owned by Microsoft, isn't it?
Yeah, Bethesda.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the greatest part of all of that news was April 13th is my birthday, so yeah.
Oh, bless.
I was like, oh,
There you
April
go. So
13th. All right, shout out my birthday.
You can not only shout your birthday out, but you can play Elder Scrolls Online on your birthday now as well, which has got to be super exciting for you, Anthony. I'm
But as
sure.
long as he gets up before 9 a.m.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, you've got to be out there before midday. You've got the whole morning where you are to kick that one around.
Yeah.
It's
And
interesting
then-
that this was so Elder Scroll obviously was a pro game,
Yes.
so then it
Yeah.
must have come out of pro.
Yeah, I
It
think
did.
it did, yeah.
And it's interesting that they are therefore, targeting people who've come to Stadia since it was a pro game to
Yes.
sort of say these are the sort. Again, this is I'm talking about the Venn diagram of gaming. This is a very PC game. But it's interesting that they're doing it with a game, offering it to pro members, a game that was a pro game until a few months ago. So it's targeting specifically those pro members who are new pro members.
And it's probably because the new DLC is coming out for that. So go inside, hey, it's new DLC. And when you play that game, because I was never into it, never played it until it was a pro game last summer. So when it's a pro game, man, I played it a lot. It's cool because it's kind of like MMO heavy, but at the same time it's not that heavy, and it feels like an action game, and you could play with so many people. So I got to a level 50 character right before Marvel Avengers came out. And so I think it's a game that people could get into. You figure the new DLC is coming out. It'll be all tied in. I think it's a smart move.
There's also, this is how my brain works, but knowing that it has been in the headlines a lot recently with the purchase by Microsoft, you might also want to be pushing the fact that, hey, you know what, we do have some Bethesda games here as well. Come and have a play and feel how good they feel. Because again, we still have supremely higher quality cloud gaming than is to be found on Xbox as yet. So that may or may not have been in marketing's mind. I doubt it was. I think what you guys have said is probably more the fact there's a new update coming, etc. And it is again showing the variety of content that is available on Stadia, which is all cool. Clive, I'm aware that you've got to shoot off in a second, my friend, because for those of you that do not know, we welcome Clive as the newest member to the Stadia Bash community.
Clive.
Hold
on.
All right,
Clive
Lord flipping Kensal.
He's
Lord
confused.
Kensal, right?
He's still in negotiation. He can't be easily bought.
You could tell Anthony and Clive have had this deep conversation because Anthony was straight in there. No, whoa, you can't see that. Get back, boy. I've had so much pain from Clive over this.
I had so much pain over this time zones. I harassed a bunch of you UK guys, man. I was trying to get everybody to help me out.
Yeah, you and I both, weren't we, Anthony? All morning we were backwards and forwards. I don't know, is it 6? Is it 5? Oh, no. In the end, I asked Bill from Nerd Nest. I knew that Bill would know, and he came back with the definitive answer, bless him. So that sorted us all out. Indeed, Lord Kensal has joined the Stadia Bash Community Network, which is your gaming channel, Clive, isn't it? Very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Look at
Nice
this.
gaming
Look,
channel.
he's not just got a beautiful set of pecs, he's got a t-shirt over the top of them.
Talk about that Lord Kensal intro.
That was
Yes,
awesome.
very
intro,
nice.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yes.
goodness.
Very good. It's very creative.
Little low key. Low key statement. I like to keep these things on the low, you know.
We've got a little Lukey with us today, funny enough.
Lukey,
So you're coming up at the top of the hour, Clive.
Yeah, that's right.
Lord Kensal Gaming. What are you are you able to tell us what we can expect?
I haven't fully decided yet. It's probably going to be Little Nightmares 2 because
Nice.
I've always wanted to. I loved the first one, but I haven't. You know, like you love something and then the sequel comes along. Unless you sort of jump into it straight away, it then sort of drifts away a bit in your mind. So I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to, start it up and get into it again.
That's awesome. It's I know everybody that's playing. In fact, Lee, you did a mega marathon stream, played the whole game from start to finish, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a stream with my daughter on one Saturday afternoon. We just decided to do it, and we start to finish. I think it was about 6.5 hours we did it in.
Wow.
So, yeah, but it's an amazing game, and the ending just blows your mind. It's very impressive. Yeah,
No
the ending's
spoilers.
incredible.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
When you say it blows your mind, because of the story, by the way, I've frozen. Don't worry, folks. You will still hear me, but I was. It decided I looked as if I was pensive and maybe even slightly intellectual, and froze me in that moment in time, which I thought was very sweet.
First and last.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is why it decided. It's very good. Great that they have over at Restream. So, Lee, when you say it's got an ending that blows your mind, in terms of emotionally or the quality of the story, the graphics, no spoilers, but I'm just interested to know.
I'd say it's a twist in the story.
Right.
A twist in the story.
It's definitely a WTF.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
it turned out to be Lara Croft all along.
All along.
Yeah.
Can I just go back to the guys at Killer Queen Black and what I was saying about them? Just during this, they've actually messaged me, and because Stadia wouldn't give keys out for the game, etc., they've offered to buy me the game today.
Wow.
Oh,
This is what I was talking about, the generosity of them.
very nice.
That's awesome. And also that is why, folks, we really do need to support these guys. Not just these guys, but a lot of the developers that have got their wares on Stadia do tend to be at the smaller end of the independents. And a few hundred sales to those guys is the world. And clearly, they're interacting at this level. They deserve our wholehearted support. So please do go out there. And it is actually a great game. We played it one Friday night, Lee, didn't we? With Dave Codex. Absolute blast.
We had an absolutely amazing time, and the devs came along that night. I think they gave us some Steam keys to try it on, and we had an amazing time.
Really good game.
They showed us how to play the game. They certainly did, but yeah, it was fun.
they handed our own to us, mate, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. Thank you.
Good luck,
for
Clive.
having me.
Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.
Good luck with the stream.
Bye-bye.
Take care, my friend. There you go. Now, I could get my face back in. I would if it was a really stupid pose, but it would involve me having to restart this screen, and that wouldn't be a clever thing to do. So you get that's fine. I could have been in a worse pose than I'm in. Pretend I'm talking there behind my hand.
We could all pretend to freeze, couldn't we? Just
just all do it. Yeah, like they used to do at the end of Police Squad.
And just a side mention too, I don't know if we've already talked about Killer Queen Black. It's cross-play enabled, so anybody worried about multiplayer or whatever, so that's awesome. I mean, it's what $11.99 US, so it's relatively inexpensive, and I think it's definitely
it's $9.99 for pro users.
Oh, okay, yep,
So,
even better.
if I've read this correctly, I got told off earlier for reading stuff incorrectly. So I better just make sure. It's the perfect pick up and play game for Stadia. Play on your compatible phone, your laptop, or your Chromecast Ultra, where the mistake was made. Whenever you've got time to squeeze in a few rounds with friends, buy it today in the store for the special price of $9.99 for Pro and $13.99 for everybody else. So for what is what, Lee, £8?
$8.99. Yeah, I just picked it up for you.
Yeah, in your English pounds, which is an absolute bargain.
Yes, yeah.
And they deserve to be given some love, folks, as well. So
Definitely.
awesome. And it's actually a really good game to boot.
It's just a good
It's
laugh.
cross-platform. It's multiplayer. You will have an absolute blast. They haven't given me. Well, they did actually give me a free version of the game, so I suppose I ought to disclose that as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
Under YouTube's terms, etc., etc. So, moving on, I knew we would have a bumper one today, which is awesome. Hitman 3, 7 Deadly Sins. So this is the first add-on content for the new Hitman 3 collection, landing in Hitman 3 today. Available to play instantly, inviting players back to Dubai for the new Escalation, the Greed enumeration, there you go, as well as adding the golden rapacious suit and the brand new Devil's Cane. So this obviously is why there's a promotion on with the free pack and also the first play at the Dubai piece as well for a few days. I haven't as yet picked up Hitman 3, but I know a lot of people have, and it's a firm favourite. John, is this something you've had a crack of?
Yeah. I played it, reviewed it on the Best Buy Canada blog, and yeah, it's great. I love the state share in it as well. And I recommend this game. It's fun if you've now you have the chance to give it a try out here for free, so you can see if that's your type of games. But if you've played any of the previous Hitman games, then for sure 3 is a big thumbs up.
I know Eli, who joined us last week, is the man as far as Hitman goes, isn't it?
He's incredible.
He is the Rain Man of Hitman, essentially. Which is awesome. So $4.99 for Act 1, or the entire Hitman 3 7 Deadly Sins for $30, which still sounds pretty good to me, to be fair. You can also enjoy some free 7 Deadly Sins goodness right now in Hitman 3 as part of the Season of Greed, tempting players with new escalations, contracts, and elusive targets for everybody who owns the game. There's also the exclusive Stadia feature on this one, isn't there, Lukey?
Yeah. Is that the state share?
Yeah, that's correct. I
Yeah,
asked you because I'd forgotten.
Yeah, I know. I haven't actually got it. Yeah.
I'm honest. I mean, you've got to give me that.
I
State
must
share,
admit,
indeed.
Yeah, I never played the Hitmans before. I played the old Hitman on the PlayStation and whatnot, but I started going through the first one, but it's just so stealthy. That's the idea. I find it very difficult to sort of be very careful in that. It's
it's not for everybody. I don't mind stealth, but what I'm not a fan of is having to rinse and repeat 50 times before you work out the way to get there. Because you know what they say about repeating something the same time and expecting a different result is the sign of insanity, and I kind of drives me mad a tad. But I did Hitman 2. I think is really good, and they've kind of moved the whole thing forward. And from what I understand is that Hitman 3 goes in a whole other direction. Yeah. So definitely one to look out for there.
It's fun watching other people play it. I know that. Especially watching Eli.
Yeah, exactly. Stadia Pro member discounts, as always, we've got a whole bunch of those. We'll have a quick look because we've got some time. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh, we will if you sign in. Let's choose an account, any account. You won't see it because I've not shared that particular screen, but don't worry, I will do. Hopefully I can just paste it here. Before we do that, specials, nothing else we're going to miss. More deals. Want to see more games on sale? Everybody can save on these deals. We won't see those, of course, being a pro member anyway. And there's undoubtedly going to be some more stuff coming up. So let's have a quick look at the Stadia Pro deals today. So I've already got Assassin's Creed, so I'm not sure what that deal is, but that seems to be getting cheaper all the time. Odyssey, half price. Ultimate Edition is looks like it's about a third price. Origins again about a third of the price.
I just picked up Origins this weekend actually because I never finished it, and at that price, I couldn't turn it down.
What a fantastic game it is, though, Lee.
Yeah.
I think Origins is my favourite in the Assassin's Creed canon. It's easier for a little bear of little mind like me to play. The others can get a bit complex, but the thing I love about all of these games is the attention to historical detail. You know, literally, as you know, you can walk around inside the pyramids, you can go around the Sphinx, you can take your bird up in the sky and get a real, you know, not your missus, but your your feathered variety. You know, just awesome games. So yeah, I mean, at that price, if you guys haven't played Origins, or indeed any of the Assassin's Creeds, they're all amazing. Odyssey is fantastic as well.
Odyssey is great,
yeah. As you can see, I did purchase. It was one of my very first purchases, actually. Valhalla is that looks like that's about £10 off, or a bit more than that. They're all coming down. Crater is, again, that's the deluxe edition, so that's about half price, give or take, a little bit more. Family Feud, I think that's the first time I've seen that one on sale. Interestingly, it's a couple of pounds off. Quite good fun. What do we call it? We call it Family Fortunes.
Family Fortunes, yeah, with Vernon Kay.
Les Dennis.
Les Dennis, that's the one I remembered, Lukey, thanks. I was thinking Vernon Kay, was he in it? Oh yeah.
Oh, you used to,
yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
No, Vernon Kay did do it, mate. But I only watched it when it was old Les. Far Cry New Dawn, which I love that game. I mean, I love all the Far Cries, but Far Cry New Dawn, what I loved was, of course, it followed on from the previous Far Cry 5, so it was kind of an extension of the story. A lot of people whinged, said it's just a big old DLC, but it was a huge game. And you know, with its own story, and I just adored that game. It's great.
It's very Ubisoft heavy again this week, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
You know, and I do wonder. I'm not. You know what? I'm a bit of an old speculator at heart, but I do wonder if they're warming us up for the wider release of Ubisoft Plus.
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it? With all these again.
Yeah.
Could well be the case, couldn't it? Let's try and just wring a few more pennies out the coffer before we
Definitely. Yeah.
throw Ubisoft Plus in. Just Dance. John, did I get a faint whiff of a hint that you may be up to a bit of a Just Dance thing coming up?
Oh, no. So what I tweeted out was...
You don't have to be so certain.
No. I do have footage of me playing that my wife recorded, but I'm never going to release that. But no, I tweeted out last night about if anybody could guess the game that I'm going to be streaming tonight on SBCN. And I just typed in the gift section there, Disco, because it's going to be Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium, of course.
Right. So, and John Travolta came up, you know, from the 70s there. So people are like, oh, it's Just Dance, or is it going to be this and that? And like, no, it's Disco Elysium.
Well, I must admit, I did get a little excited. You've just sort of dampened my ardour there, mate. That's a bit of a blow.
Maybe I'll do it for a charity stream later this year, right?
And why not? Well, we've got a slot. We've got an hour's free at about 4 a.m. UK time at the weekend. If you want to come and do some floor bashing, you're more than welcome. It's all in a good cause, which we'll come on to in a second. This thing called Season Pass, what's that? Is that Dead by Daylight?
I think it's for one of the Assassin's Creed games.
Creed, yeah.
Ah, yes.
It's Liberty, is it?
Yeah, the Victorian one. Yeah, quite right. Lots of crews. You're right. It's very Ubisoft heavy, isn't it? It's pretty much.
Apart from Killer Queen Black.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Everything else is the whole lot. That is interesting, isn't it? Putting the old speculation hat on there, as you rightly said, Lee. Apart from Killer Queen Black, which is there because, of course, it's launching today. Everything else is Ubisoft. Wow. Very interesting. So that was actually it as far as the old community blog went today. Some great stuff coming up, though. I'm very excited about all of that. So just to recap for folks that came in a little bit late, essentially what we have is all of these pro games, which are Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, look at that, SpongeBob and the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Resident Evil 7, all known as Resident Evil Biohazard, but it's the gold edition, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just any old version of Res Evil 7, that gets you the whole lot. And Pikuniku, which is actually quite a sweet little game, Pikuniku, or Pikuniku, or call it what you want. And that one's all them four. You're getting 4 games in your bag of swag this week, so that's great news. Very, very good. We learned of some games that are leaving us forever and ever and ever as far as pro is concerned. SteamWorld Quest, Dig 2, Super Hot Mind Controlled Elite, F1 2020, and Hotline Miami. So pick those up. You have literally got until tomorrow to claim those if you're a pro subscriber. Hitman has some free content for everybody to play. You can play a chunk of Hitman 1 and 2 forever. And between March 30th and April the 5th, you can play Dubai location of Hitman 3, which I will definitely be doing. That's known as the Hitman Free Starter Pack. So that's available, I think, from today, but I may be wrong. I can't see a start date for the first 1 and 2, but it's coming. And then we've got a whole bunch of new games being released. Killer Queen Black, which we've mentioned, and urge you all to go and buy. Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince, Disco Elysium. John, when did you say you're streaming that one? Later today?
Yep, later today. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, which would be, 2 o'clock your time?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
So about 5 hours behind.
Yeah.
Yes. I might have to put the VHS on for that one. Make it up, my idea. I'll record it. And,
Video plus.
yeah. I'll put the old clock on for that one and watch it in the morning with a cup of tea.
That's good.
Nanotale Typing Chronicles, Outriders, of course, big release this week on April the 1st. Cosmic Star Heroine, Kimono Heroes, Legend of Heroes. So if you're into your pixel art, those and JRPGs, you're going to get some stuff there as well this week. So that's excellent. Elder Scrolls Online, free for 2 weeks. So if you didn't pick it up when it was a pro game, now's your chance to play it for a couple of weeks. But you also get to play all the additional DLC as well. So it's going to be a full wedge of Scrolls Online. Hitman 3 7 Deadly Sins is the first add-on content for Hitman 3, which of course only came out a short while ago. So that's there for you. You can buy it all in different acts, is my understanding. Act 1 you can buy for pretty much nothing, $4.99. Or you can buy the whole lot for $30. So if you've loved your Hitman 3, then you can go and buy some more content there. Lots of discounts for Stadia Pro members. And of course, if you're not a Stadia Pro member, there'll be a chunk for you as well. I'd always love to show you those, but because I am a Pro member, I can't. Actually, I probably could. I've got a few different accounts, but we won't go there. So that's all great stuff. Now, before we go, Lee, my good friend, we have a very special event coming up this coming weekend, haven't we?
We certainly do. Starting Friday night at 8, we have the pre-show, but obviously starting Saturday midday British summertime, BST, our 24-hour stream starts in aid of Fair Share Greater Manchester. We've already smashed 2 goals, one of £500, one of £1,000, and we're now heading for £1,500. So if you
amazing.
If you can head over on Saturday at 12 p.m. and even if you're just in the chat, showing your support, encouraging us, just come along, show your support. And if you can, I know it's tough out there at the moment for everybody. But I went to visit Fair Share last weekend with Codex Gaming, and some of the stories that they've told us, it's heartbreaking. And there's people out there who are just struggling, and they've got to turn to food banks and charities, and it shouldn't be happening in 2021. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't be happening in a modern world. But thanks to people like these guys doing incredible work, people are getting some food in the bellies, and it's just so much more than food as well. These guys are sort of like people who used to be ex-drug users, or they've just fallen on hard times, or they help them get back into work and give them things like forklift truck licenses, and just helped them get back into sort of what you would call normal society, and just getting them out there and giving them that chance. And like I say, it's just so much more. And if we could raise so much more money than we've got already, it's going to make a huge difference to someone's life somewhere.
Yeah.
So everybody, please come along, show your support, and if you can donate, that's all. So thank you.
It's an absolutely amazing.
I think
sorry, John.
I was going to say sorry. Yeah, I was going to say I think we've all been in that situation where we've needed help. So if you are now in a situation where you can give a little, please do, because what goes around comes around, right? So when you needed that help, whether you got help from somebody or it would have been nice to get help. If you're in that situation now where you can give a little bit, or like you said, at least in the chat to support there, please do, because it goes to help a very good cause.
Definitely, well said.
Thank you, my friend.
John.
Just in case, gentlemen, you sort of were wondering what it is that's happening over the weekend. It's by and large, 90% of it anyway, is a big old tribute to Red Dead Redemption, isn't it, Lee? So there's
it is, yeah.
And it's not just these guys streaming the game for 24 hours.
No, we've got a whole load of events lined up during the 24 hours where the community can get involved. So I will be going over this on Friday night at 8 p.m. BST on my channel. We've got a bit of a pre-show, but there'll be a horse race from one side of the map to the other, no holds barred. So there's literally 22 people riding on horses from one side of the map to the other, shooting each other, and it's just going to be absolute chaos, but it's going to be a load of fun. We've got prizes to give away. Honestly, it's worth coming along just to experience the fun.
Yeah, it really is. There's even a poker session.
Yeah,
in-game poker session.
There's an in-game podcast at midnight. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to be interviewing Color, who of course is a massive, well-renowned Red Dead player, plus Stadia Pro Gaming, William. And we're going to be doing something a little different, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the history of the Wild West and how accurate the game is around the period. So really, that is going to be fascinating. It's something I'm really interested in and looking forward to sharing that. And I will be giving away a copy of Red Dead Redemption over the 2 days, over the weekend. So make sure, and it's going to be done in a fun way. So make sure you tune in and find out a little bit more about that. The link is down there, justgiving.com, fundraising, gaming 24 hours fair share. As you can see, and we've smashed the target 3 times already, and it's still going. And the generosity of this community knows absolutely no bounds. So thank you all very much. Just very quickly, because we've got 1 minute left, if we can just quickly do a run round, and you guys can all tell me where people can find you and what they can expect to find when they find. Start with you, Lukey.
Lukey Sixx. You can find me on youtube.com/Lukey Sixx. I just stream whatever, really. Have fun. That's what I'm all about. So come along. I'm also on Twitter @Lukey Sixx if you want to follow me there.
Thank you, my friend. And John?
You can find me on Twitter, 4scars_gaming. I'm also YouTube, 4scars gaming. And you can finally find me on the Best Buy Canada blog.bestbuy.ca. And I just posted last night my written review of Kaze and the Wild Masks. So if you want to check that out, I'd appreciate it.
And it is a great read as well. Thank you very much, John. And finally, Lee. Well, before we say finally, Lee, we better just quickly say to our guests that have had to shoot off there, Lord Kensal, Clive Illenden, you can find in literally now streaming, so we've got to be quick. And of course, Anthony also joined us for a short while as well, and he's on Twitter as And Now Your. And Lee?
Yeah, you can find me at YouTube at Stadia Dad Games, and you can also find me on Twitter at StadiaDad_games.
Awesome. I've been Stadia Rocks. I will be probably for the rest of this week. And please do join Rokk and Ray and myself Thursday night for the Rokk and Ray show. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a fantastic show. The blog has been and done us proud. I'd like to thank you all and thank the Stadia Bash Community Network, of course, for all the great work that we do. And my friends, have a great week and look forward to seeing you all again very soon.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye now.